As the night crept in, I found myself alone in the dimly lit Airbnb, surrounded by an eerie silence. Little did I know, the shadows held a secret that would unravel a spine-chilling tale, leaving me questioning the very reality I thought I knew. It was a crisp autumn evening when I stumbled upon the quaint Airbnb listing nestled in the heart of a small, secluded town. The promise of a serene getaway drew me in, and the cozy cottage seemed like the perfect retreat. Little did I know, my escape would soon turn into a chilling encounter that would haunt my nights. Upon arriving, the air was thick with an unsettling stillness, and the hosts, though polite, had an air of secrecy about them. The cottage, while charming, had an inexplicable air of abandonment, as if it held the echoes of forgotten whispers. As night fell, a subtle unease settled in. Creaking floorboards and distant murmurs teased my senses. I brushed it off as the quirks of an old building, but as the hours passed, an undeniable tension hung in the air. One night, as I lay in bed, the silence shattered. A faint, distant melody echoed through the walls, a tune both haunting and melancholic. Each note seemed to carry the weight of untold stories, resonating with a sorrowful past. Fear gripped me as I realized the melody had no clear source. It danced mysteriously through the darkened corridors. Curiosity overcoming caution, I followed the ghostly melody, winding through the narrow halls. The air grew colder, and a flickering light led me to a forgotten room. Inside, an old music box played the sorrowful tune on its own, its rusty mechanism defying explanation. Suddenly, the room plunged into darkness, the music abruptly ceasing. A hushed whisper sliced through the blackness, sending shivers down my spine. "Leave!" it pleaded, a voice carrying the weight of 1,000 regrets. Terrified, I stumbled back to my room, the air heavy with an unseen presence. The remaining nights blurred into a series of inexplicable events, shadows that moved on their own, whispers that echoed through the walls, and an ever-present sense of being watched. As I fled the Airbnb, the host's eyes bore into mine with a knowing sadness. The quaint cottage held secrets too profound for the living to comprehend. To this day, I wonder about the spectral melody and the unseen forces that linger within the walls, forever trapped in a realm between the living and the unknown. Days turned into restless nights as the air in the Airbnb thickened with an otherworldly tension. My attempts to rationalize the eerie occurrences fell short, and the spectral melody haunted my dreams. In the quiet town, locals spoke in hushed tones about the cottage's unsettling history. Whispers of a tragedy, long forgotten by most but eternally imprinted in the walls of that secluded haven, fueled my curiosity. One evening, driven by an insatiable need to unravel the mystery, I sought out an elderly resident who had lived in the town for decades. Their eyes told stories of witnessing the unexplainable, and with a cautious nod, they began to recount the chilling tale. Decades ago, the cottage was home to a family whose lives were intertwined with tragedy. A daughter, gifted with a musical talent that transcended mortal realms, had met a tragic end. The details were shrouded in secrecy, but the essence of her sorrow lingered, trapped in the haunting melody that played through the ages. Armed with this newfound knowledge, I delved deeper into the cottage's history. Each step revealed layers of sorrow and despair, an unbroken chain linking the living to the spectral. The town had tried to forget, yet the air whispered the truth to those who dared to listen. One stormy night, as rain battered the windows, I stumbled upon a hidden attic. Dust-covered relics of a bygone era surrounded me, old photographs, tattered sheet music, and a forgotten diary. The diary, belonging to the ill-fated daughter, chronicled a tormented existence, marked by a love lost and a soul trapped between worlds. In the flickering candlelight, the diary unveiled a forbidden love, a tale of betrayal and heartbreak that transcended the boundaries of life and death. The daughter's spirit, unable to find solace, manifested through the haunting melody, a plea echoing through time. As I continued to unravel the past, the paranormal activity intensified. Shadows danced malevolently, and whispers grew into anguished cries. The cottage itself seemed to breathe, inhaling the pain of the past and exhaling a chilling reminder of the transgressions that bound the living and the dead. Haunted by a sense of responsibility, I sought a way to release the tormented soul trapped within the ethereal prison. The townsfolk, who had long chosen to turn a blind eye, now urged me to confront the spirit and unravel the threads that bound her to the mortal realm. The final night arrived, a symphony of ethereal whispers and ghostly apparitions. Armed with the knowledge of the past and a determination to free the tormented soul, I ventured into the heart of the spectral storm. In the room where the music box had played its melancholic tune, I confronted the ghostly presence. The air thickened, and the temperature plummeted as the daughter's spirit materialized. Eyes filled with centuries of sorrow met mine, and the haunting melody filled the room. With every note, I uttered words of empathy and understanding. I acknowledged the pain, the betrayal, and the love that bound her to the mortal plane. Slowly, the room transformed, and the oppressive atmosphere lifted. As the last note of the spectral melody echoed, the tormented spirit dissipated into the unknown, leaving behind a lingering sense of peace. The shadows retreated, and the cottage, once a vessel for suffering, embraced a newfound serenity. The next morning, as sunlight bathed the town, the Airbnb stood silent, its walls no longer echoing with the ghosts of the past. The town, too, seemed to exhale a collective sigh of relief, the burden of a long-held secret lifted. As I left the quaint town, the locals spoke of gratitude, their eyes holding a newfound warmth. The Airbnb, now a sanctuary untethered from the chains of the supernatural, stood as a testament to the power of understanding, empathy, and the courage to confront the ghosts that linger within. And so, the story of the unsettling Airbnb faded into the annals of that small town, a cautionary tale whispered by those who dared to remember, a tale of love, betrayal, and the redemptive power that lies in confronting the spectral shadows that dance on the edge of our understanding.